a word from our sponsor.
Uganda Nujinyo, the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere. Uganda Nujinyo, the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere. Seta kagenda bunaira, nganzaliwa munsenuje byengera. Uganda siyange njagala, erimu ebirungi ebyegombesa. Tunuulira ebyobulambuzi, tulina bingi ebisikiriza. Bwe tuukako mu west, n'ogendako mu east, bwe tuukako eyo mu northern Uganda, ojja kuvaayo weewuunya. Is the pearl of Uganda.
Welcome to the BTS Presents show. Our episode this month is the Kasese, Uganda Friendship City Delegation. I would like to introduce Godfrey Kasese, who I've known for 14 years now, is a graduate of the UCSC Agroecology Center in 1999. He's also director of CETRU, Center for Environmental Technology and Rural Development in Kasese. We have Carol, who is a retired teacher and past president of the Kasese Rotary Club. Mayor of Kasese is Godfrey Kabyanga. The town clerk of Kasese is Alex Mujemi. And Rita Khan is director of the Renzori Cotton Ginners Company Limited. And we are very glad to welcome you all. Thank you all for coming. And Godfrey, you've been in Santa Cruz many times during the last 14 years. Can you tell me what is it that you hope that our delegation will be able to learn when they're here in Santa Cruz?
Oh, thank you very much, Peggy. When you look into the setting of Santa Cruz, it's really different from Kasese, where I come from. When you look into the people of Santa Cruz and the activities that people are doing in Santa Cruz are so interesting. In terms of awareness, in terms of conservation, in terms of town planning, and a number of things. And slowly by slowly, be able maybe to catch up, but it's going to take us a long time.
Pole pole.
Pole pole.
Yes, I learned that from Godfrey. He taught me some Ugandan. So we have two Godfreys who are delegates. Mayor Godfrey, can you tell us what your delegation is hoping to learn here in Santa Cruz?
First of all, our mission as a town, Kasese Municipal Council, our vision is to have a well-planned, green, clean, and poverty-free town. And when I reached Santa Cruz, I saw that all those values are there. Santa Cruz, I've seen, is a clean town, it's a green town, it's well-planned. What magic did you do to have Santa Cruz to this status? And that's why we are here.
Wow, that's wonderful. I joined Sister Cities to be able to organize this delegation. Carol, and you tell me, what am I going to see when I go to Kasese?
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, the Rwenzori Mountains dominate Kasese. It is a backdrop. It is ever present. The mountains are on the equator, but they are always snow-capped. They are very interesting. If you like climbing, if you like bird watching, there are hundreds and hundreds of species of birds, and they are very interesting plants.
Can people ski on top of the mountains?
Well, they have been known to ski. I have seen a party from Holland just after a war took place. They were the first tourists to come to the mountains, and they were going to ski in the mountains.
Wow.
And in the days gone by, there was even a ski club.
Ooh, and this is on the equator?
This is on the equator.
Amazing. I love to ski, actually. How long will it take me to get to the skiing place on the mountain?
Well, unfortunately, it will take you about 5 days to get up to where you can ski.
Is there
So
ski lift
if you,
there?
there's nothing there. The nearest thing to any intrusion by man is the huts where you stay and some walks to help you get through the bogs.
Who's coming with me? I'm going to the top of the mountain.
We are all coming with you.
Excellent. We've got
We shall train you how to walk.
Thank you. Date for next year or whenever we make it. That's great. So, Mayor Godfrey, can you tell us why are the mountains called the Mountains of the Moon?
Most of the early explorers were actually tracing the source of the Nile. So when they saw this white stuff, they thought it was the source of the Nile. And when they reached there, they found a snow-capped mountain, and they called it the Mountains of the Moon. But locally, we call it the Rwenzoris.
Rwenzori Mountain.
Yes, or Rwenzuru.
Rwenzori.
And Rwenzuru in our local language means of the snow.
What was your job before you were mayor of Kasese?
Before I was the mayor of Kasese, I have been, I worked with 3 organizations. As soon as I left college, I became a marketing manager.
You were spokesman for an important person in Kasese.
Oh yes.
Who's that?
I was also a spokesperson of the king. In
King of
Uganda,
Kasese.
every tribe has a king, and every tribe has a kingdom. And the tribe which dominates the Rwenzori Mountains, we call them the Bakonzo people, or they call themselves Banyarwenzuru. Banyarwenzuru mean the people who stay on the snow-capped mountain. And they have a kingdom, a great kingdom, a beautiful kingdom.
And you were
I used to be
spokesman.
the spokesperson of that king
Wonderful.
for several years, 12 years,
Wow.
before I joined politics.
Well, what else is there in addition to the Rwenzori Mountains for us to see when we come to Uganda, or to come to Kasese?
There is another national park called Queen Elizabeth National Park, which has recently just won an award as the best managed, best planned park in Africa from TripAdvisor. And this is again a very varied park, but certainly I'm sure you would love to see the elephants, and at very close range. They are there, they are easy to see. Buffalo are also easy to see. And the park has 2 lakes, 2 major lakes, Lake George and Lake Edward. Between those 2 lakes is a waterway called the Kazinga Channel, and you can take a launch ride on there, and in 2 hours you will see the elephants, you will see buffalo, crocodiles, hippos, and many species of antelope.
I've heard hippos are not always friendly, though.
Well, if you interfere with any animals, probably they're not very friendly. If you get in the way of a buffalo, they are more dangerous even than a hippo.
Do hippos eat people?
Well, not intentionally, but they can give you a bite if you get in their way.
Okay.
They bite in defense.
In defense, okay.
Yeah.
All
And the
right.
biggest problem is because their teeth aren't very clean, then they give you some nasty infections.
I will be nice to hippos. I don't want any hippo bites. Okay. So you have of the big 5 animals in Africa, you have 4 in
We have
Kasese?
4. We don't have the rhinoceros in the wild, but we do have in that park, in the southern sector, we have a very special type of lion who climb trees. When they've had a good night's hunting and they're very satisfied, they climb up the trees and they lie there all day long for the tourists. I don't know whether the tourists are looking at them or they're looking at the tourists and thinking about the next meal, but they are very special. We also have chimpanzees. You can go and track the chimpanzees and ordinary lions who don't climb the trees.
How about gorillas?
There are mountain gorillas in Uganda, about 4 hours journey away from Kasese. And they are the last mountain gorillas in the world. They are shared between Rwanda, Congo and Uganda. Uganda has more of them most of the time, but sometimes they go and do tourism for themselves.
Oh, wonderful. I've heard there's some birds in Kasese. Rita, can you tell us about birds?
Yeah, quite a number of species. We have the famous kingfisher, we have the shoebill, then we have the marabou stork, then we have the pelican, then the weaver birds, they keep picking the green grass, then they make them into nests. Those ones, anyway, you can have a tree, they come and build. Those are the weaver birds, very busy. They keep moving. You see them so busy with their pecking the leaves and grass to make their nest.
Where's your favorite place to go watch birds?
In the mountains. But anyway, you can sit, depending on how the weather favors them. You can be seated somewhere, you just see them, many coming, even others, wild parrots. You just see them flying up in the trees.
You said there's one place where you can really see a lot of birds at once that you can go?
Yeah.
Where's that place?
Even in the mountains, yeah, you can find the birds. And certain homes whereby they get excited to come where they feel like. In the evenings, you see them flying over where there is water. Yeah, you just sit and you throw some, if you can give them some food to eat.
Wonderful.
They come, even the yellow birds.
We have a lot of bird watching.
But the Rwenzori Mountains, so far, it has over 2,500 species of birds.
Oh, wow.
And because of that diversity of UNESCO has gazetted it as a World Heritage Center.
World Heritage Center.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Uganda is gifted by nature. And that's why it's called the Pearl of Africa.
Pearl of Africa.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of birds. And Carol, you said the Rotary is interested in tell us about the Rotary safari.
Well, we wish to encourage Rotarians from other countries to take part in projects with us, to partner with us, but we don't want it to be a one-sided thing. We want you to come and take part in the project, whether it is doing some painting or doing some medical camp or community work. But when you are there in Kasese, Rotarians will host you and take you around to they won't necessarily take you up the mountains, but they will take you to the Queen Elizabeth Park and various places, the hot springs, the salt lakes where salt is mined very traditionally, and various other places of interest in Kasese. And then you finish touring the rest of Uganda after leaving us.
Sounds wonderful. Yes.
Yes.
Is that in place? Do you have a program now for the Rotary?
We have had the one successful one this year. We've just started it, and so we have some experience of it, and it has been very successful so far. So we're looking forward to the Rotary clubs, the different clubs of Santa Cruz, coming out and doing this as well.
It sounds amazing. So many great things. Pearl of Africa. I can't wait to go there. So tell us, with Kasese, Alex, your job is the town clerk. We have slightly different names for things here, and you said that's equivalent to a city manager, for what we call city manager. Tell us about your job and kind of give us an overview of Kasese, what your role is.
Yeah, my role as a town clerk, among many others, is one, I'm the accounting officer. In other words, I take charge of all the funds and the projects which we implement in the municipality. I account the government and also account the people. because Uganda is undergoing a lot of transformation. Good governance requires that you must account. So, one function is that I account for all the funds. Another role that I play as a town clerk is that I coordinate all the technical staff, engineering, water, roads, production. In other words, I also account the mayor and the council. But at the same time, I also ensure downward accountability to the community. Yes. But I also liaise with the under PPPs, public-private partnership. I also coordinate them. For example, when they are undertaking their activities, they are supposed to furnish my office with their worker plans so that we avoid this business of duplicating services. And I also am a technical advisor to the council, so that when the council is making laws, policies, and resolutions, they are lawful. So I also advise the council, but the major role is that I implement all lawful council resolutions. And I also liaise, like even when I'm here like this, I'm liaising between the Kasese Municipal Council and other city states.
So if I want to get something done in Kasese, I talk to you.
Yes, and I enjoy my work, and I work very harmoniously with the mayor
Oh, that's
and
important.
his council.
You two don't fight? Wow, city politics with no fighting. This is great.
Why we don't
We
fight
can
is
learn
that
from you.
we both serve the same purpose. Mine is implementation, his is oversight. He has hands off, but eyes on.
I've told you what our vision is. A clean, green, well-planned and poverty-free town.
Vision 2040. Tell me about that.
Vision 2040 actually came out of Vision 2025. The strategic issue there is to have a middle class.
Middle class.
By 2040. And that's what we are struggling to do as a country. And therefore, to have it, we must have at least people who are educated. That's why we have introduced universal primary education, universal secondary education. Even at university now, we are introducing scholarships so that children who can't manage to pay university, because we have so many children going to university and the government cannot pay for all of them. Government pays, and then when they get jobs, they start refunding. They give them loans and then they start refunding.
Great.
So
Now, I read on your website, the city website says your goal is to eliminate poverty by 2025.
exactly.
That's amazing. I love that goal.
We want to
Are you
eliminate
doing it?
poverty by that time. And that's why I'm saying we want to create a bit of a middle class, which really can go into investment, because we want to improve, to increase investment, so that we even create more jobs.
Wow, great.
And that's where we are leading.
Rita, you are director of Renzori Cotton Ginners. How many employees do you have in your textile company?
Oh, we have about 500 employees.
And you're hoping to develop your industry, learning more about producing fabric?
Maybe if you could supplement to us by your organic methods of growing the cotton, I think it would also be a good supplement to it.
That sounds great.
Yeah, if we could have organic cotton planted. Yeah, you saw the fabric we displayed here earlier, and you had pictures of the shirts. Some of it is like what you.
Yeah.
So we expect to have an industry in Kasese whereby we can process the lint into fabric.
Wonderful.
Then, with the farmers, if you could introduce to us your organic system, so that we can use it to grow the cotton the organic way.
That sounds great.
And the government has earmarked enough land to give to industries to put up industries. So if business people in Santa Cruz are interested in investing in industry in Kasese, mainly agro-based industry, there is land for them.
Great.
Yep.
Godfrey, tell us about the work you do with Setrud. How many people do you train each year, and what do you train them in?
Yeah, well, let me first tell you a little bit about Setrud. Center for Environment, Technology and Development is a non-profit which was founded in 1997. Before I came down here to study agriculture, which I did at UCSC,
right.
University of California, where I lived in 1999. So Center for Environment, Technology and Development is committed to people and nature. One of the things we do is the environmentally friendly activities. We focus so much on the organic farming. We focus on the appropriate technology. We look into the technology which could be in a developed country, and we bring it down. We try to simplify it and to make sure that it's affordable and it is usable and it is reachable by a rural person.
How many farmers a year do you train in that?
So we have been working with farmers for quite a long time. We train like 2,000 farmers in the sustainable farming.
2,000 a year.
Yeah, and other activities which are so much related to income generating.
That's wonderful. And I know you do all kinds of great programs and work with Santa Cruz Firelight Foundation, and they love you. They say you're one of the best grantees that they've had. And so it's a wonderful program, and I'm sure people can learn more about that. And recently, sadly, you've had a major flooding in Kasese. It made international news. And Mayor, can you tell us what was the situation there and how many people affected?
Yeah, that was one thing that devastated the town. Actually, Kasese Municipal Council has 3 divisions, and one division which is called the Blembia, where the copper mining, the copper mining belt was totally devastated. We have a river called the Nyamwamba, which comes from the Rwenzori Mountains direct, and it burst all its banks. And
3 rivers overflowed, right?
Yeah.
Flash floods.
Yeah, but one particularly goes through the municipality. But also other places were affected, like where Mr. Kasozi comes from. There was also a river which burst its banks. But
how many people affected?
27,000 people were displaced.
27,000.
Yeah, about 5,000 families.
Wow.
But
homes wiped
those ones who
down.
went to the camp were 1,300 families, making up around 3,000 people in internally displaced camps. The rest who were affected couldn't make it to the camp. Schools were destroyed, road infrastructure was destroyed. Was one of the hospitals, the only hospital in Kasese Municipal Council was badly destroyed. And
so in the short time we have left, we are working on raising some funding for you. You've already gotten lots of funding from United Nations and Save the Children and other organizations.
UNICEF, World Vision.
Yes, and we're also working on fundraising for recovery from that through Sister Cities program. And we are, so I think we're about out of time here, but we really hope to continue our friendships that we're just getting started. And thank you all for coming so far to meet us, and we hope that many people can meet you and that this can be the beginning of many wonderful, long friendships. We are very blessed to have you here, and thank you for coming, and thank you for watching BTS Presents.
And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The time is never enough.
We should thank you so much, Peggy.
This is my pleasure.
Uganda Nunjinyo, the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere. Uganda Nunjinyo, the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere.
Bariwa, abanonya
beauty, good people everywhere. Uganda Nuntinyo, the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere.
And now a word from our sponsor.
The pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere. Uganda Nuntinyo, the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere. Ebitonde bingi mu Uganda ebitasangika, soka kumbeera y'obudde olaba ennyanja n'emigga, ebibira n'ensozi birungi ate ebisolo bya